Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to have a little play with a new journal, probably rose themed, as I've said in my past few videos. I'm just going to have a play with a soft cover, and I'm using some of these old file folders, and what I want to do is use this as a spine as well. Here's my emboss tool. So I want to make a 2-inch spine. Oops. So that will be one fold, and then what am I doing? I want it to come to about there. So I'll just put a another fold in that. So I want it to be like that. And then I should measure how much this is. So it can well, that's hard to measure, isn't it? It's right on that. So it came to right on that. I need to go get my glasses. What are you barking at? Okay, so that's the basics of it. And what I'll do is cut another one. See if that works. Right. Is that right? Cut them a little bit different. Okay, so I'm just going to put glue on this. I'm just doing a voiceover because I've sped the video up so it doesn't bore you to tears watching me put this together. And yeah, just reinforce all those creases. And I was just checking to see if they both matched. One was hanging over a little bit. I didn't bother because they were on square. So and then I've just got a smaller piece for the spine just to reinforce that. So that would be 3 pieces of card thick. And yeah, that'll do a good job to just support that spine and make it more sturdy. So I ended up choosing a piece of this rose upholstery fabric that I got in my last Thrifty Thursday video that I showed you guys, and just cut it down so that it was about 1 inch larger than my cardboard cover. And I'm just going to use the same type of glue. It's just a fabric glue, a clear fabric glue that I've been using. And I'm just going to cover the cardboard with this upholstery fabric. So it's a little bit boring, this section. But I hope you're all well and happy. And it's been freezing cold here and raining and wet and really miserable, but warm inside. So doesn't really matter. It's just that Pickle gets a bit bored. Yeah, trying to keep him happy is a little bit harder in the wet weather. He sits at the window and daydreams out like a cat. Alright, so I'm just clipping that down here to, approximately an inch all the way around. And I'm going to, like how you would cover a school book, I guess, back in the day, I'm just going to do the long landscape bits first, and then the ends. But you'll see what I'm doing anyway. It's a bit a bit boring. But I know I had to press down quite a bit for this glue to take. I don't know whether it was because of the fabric or what, but it took a little bit for it to stick. But it got there. And it's made the cardboard nice and firm, which I really like. So even though it's still a soft, you can still feel it's a soft cover, it's nice and sturdy now. So just patting down the next edge, and then I'll go on to the ends. I'll clip. You'll see me clip a little bit of the fabric here, just to make those ends sit, because you don't want to fold over double fabric, especially that upholstery fabric. It can be quite thick. So I couldn't find my good sewing scissors anywhere again. I had my blunt sewing scissors, which was annoying. I'll have to have a look for them. So yeah, I'm just clipping into that, so where it meets the edge of the cardboard, and I'll do that on all four sides and open that up so that I can glue it down the other way. So just opening that up and going to fold it back over that other way with the glue. And I'm just using my bone folder here to make sure the crease is working well, so it's not bubbling up. So you fold that up, press it down, and then at the end I'll trim off all the little tags that are hanging off. Alright, so I'm just trimming off what's hanging over, press down. I think I put a little bit of glue in it as well, just to seal it all off so it doesn't fray. And then that will be the front all glued on. So yeah, just reinforce all those folds, make sure they're working well. And this cover will get stiffer as the glue dries. Will get a lot stiffer, so I'm just putting a little bit of glue in where I clipped those last bits of fabric, just to so nothing frays there. So all the supplies that you're seeing me use today are all thrifted or found at the op shop. The file folders, the fabric, the doily you see me putting on now. Now I'm going to put this on the inside as an inside cover. This is a beautiful doily. I scanned it first, so I've got the digital there before I used it. So I'm just going to do the same, cover it with glue. And I think the trick to not get this glue seeping through fabric is to make sure you spread it out well. I used one of those little silicone brushes, like a makeup brush, to, you'll see that in a minute, to spread that out. Otherwise you will get seepage coming through. See, I'm using that little brush now. Otherwise you will get seepage coming through your fabric, and it sort of ruins the look of it a little bit. So I'll just giving it a slight second there to not to dry, but just to take that real wetness away. And you'll see me peel it up and down a couple of times, because you've got a little bit of wriggle room with that glue before it sticks down firm. So I just wanted to get it all straight, or as straight as I could, because I'm putting a semi-round round cornered doily here on a square book, so that doesn't bother me, but I just wanted to get it close enough to the edge where it looked fine. So I think I even peeled this back up again. I wasn't happy with how that was sitting, and it still sticks down. So I think I wanted a little bit of the doily to poke out either end. The back end wasn't doing that, so just flatten it all out and make sure it's all got good contact. Now I'm just using my bone folder just to reinforce those creases. Make sure the glue sticks down in those creases, because that's where it's going to get, that's where your journal has all the work happening in the creases. Alright, I wasn't real sure here whether to put some sort of trim around the edges of the book. So you see me scratching around in my trim box, but I decided not to in the end. So anyway, you can watch me have a play in my trim box. These are all trims I've found at the op shop over the time. There's some nice ones in there. So I think I scrapped the trim idea after looking at a few different colours. I mean, you could go ahead and put some sort of trim on it. But I decided in the end to put a picture on it, so yeah, get rid of that. Okay, this was the book that I showed in my last thrifty haul. It was an address book and it had all roses in it, so I gutted that. And here I'm just going to trim down the front. This is the front cover that I've cut off. Just going to trim that down just a tad. And I'll show you how I've distressed the front of that because it's quite shiny, the cover. And yeah, just dull it down and put some distress ink on it. Those little covers can be quite thick too, so just be careful cutting them. Alright, so I grabbed a piece of what did I do here? Okay, I was going to see if some trim would look nice on the edge of that. I got some really fine sandpaper and I'm turning the book front a quarter turn each time. So I'm going on an angle and it creates like a nice little crosshatch type sand. So I'm taking off the shine of this book front and I'm going to take it back to the point where it does create like little, not holes, but it rubs some bits and pieces of the book cover actually off, and then you'll see when I put the Distress Oxide ink on, it will pick up, it'll catch on those little spots that that I've sanded right off, and make it look a little older and yeah, just age it, make it not so shiny, all that sort of thing. So you can see that it's taken the shine off it and it's put some little dark spots on it which look like age spots, but it's where I've worn the shine right off the book cover. Now I didn't know here whether I'd use some seam binding to edge that. I know, still playing around with different ideas because yeah, I'm just winging it, sitting here putting bits and pieces of things together. So I was going to go with that because it looked very similar to the colour on the actual fabric cover, but I ended up just oxiding the edge of that book front because I didn't know whether you'd be able to see it or not, but in the end you don't see it. So I was just covering the cardboard. So I'm still fishing around in my trims, trying to find something. So I decided just to stick it on and hopefully a trim will come to mind, or I'll find something. So yeah, just using the same type of fabric glue and sticking that down to the front cover. Just making sure I've got good contact because it is a soft cover. It is quite bendy still, so just made sure that all had good contact. Then I end up finding this. It was sort of like a seam binding, but it's got a really fine little bead line and lace on it. So I decided on that, and I'm going to carefully glue that down just to try and make it all bordered off nicely. Okay, so that's the finished Rose album cover. Just checking here to see if everything's stuck and that it was straight. Okay, I couldn't leave it like this. They're the little flowers that I put on that I didn't show on camera. But I looked at it and I said to Dave, does this look like something that a granny would have made back in the 80s or 90s? And I just had that feeling, you know, like it just looks too late 80s. I don't know whether it's the upholstery or what. So we're going to bring it back into this modern age, but not this modern age. So what I've done is I distressed around the edges. I've even put some distress ink around the edge of here as well. I put some around the inside, just a little bit to show that it had been, you know, it looks like it's been worn. So what I want to do, I just want to get it back out of the 80s, you know. Get it back out of that granny era. So let's put some. You got to be brave when you put this ink on. You just got to do it. Let's get it back out of that era. That looks nice. So I've just put a little bit of stamping on there. I've got a Tim Holtz little lady, which I think she was two. I think there was two of them in this one, and I cut them in half. I just wanted one on it. So I want to put, oops, I think I want to put her on there. I just couldn't leave it like that. I looked at it, I took a photo, and I was like, oh gosh, I just can't leave it like that. So look at me go, using this flash glue. Wonder how good it is. Alright, let's put you there. I picked out a little postage stamp too, Australian postage stamp. And we'll put that somewhere as well. I might put it up here somewhere. Oops, not on the rose. Like that. Got some little stamps in here too that I like to use on the postage stamps. One's just a little, one of those little circle things, and the other's a like that. So I'll do that to that. I might put a little bit of writing up there too. I've got some washi tape, so let's put a little bit of that on. Just a little bit down the side, I think. I'll cut that off. And I've got one of these little number things. Oops. Oh, how many times can I drop this thing? going to put that down here. Get that. And let's put a little bit of this on. What do you think of that now? Does that look better? Does that just step it into the junk journal era, I should say, not the granny era? I don't know whether it's made it too busy, or maybe I could just bring that back a little. Yeah, that's a bit better. I think I like it. Alright, so if you're new here, I would love it if you'd subscribe to my channel. Press that bell button for notifications. Like, share, and all that type of thing. My next video, I'll come back and we'll put some signatures in this thing. So stay well, stay happy, and I will see you again soon. Bye.